So I got a hold of this Sony Ericsson Xperia Ray from 2011. And here I have a smartphone from 2024, the latest Xperia. And I thought, why not do a little shootout between these phones just to see the difference of 13 years in mobile and camera technology. And this video is not sponsored by Sony or anyone else. I'm just doing this for the fun of it because I genuinely want to see the difference between how it looks and how far we've come. And record. So this is what the video looks like from the Sony Ericsson Xperia Ray. And yeah, feels like I'm back in school on my way to play with my band. Such a nostalgic look of it. And we're back in 2024. A lot of things has happened since. And let's have a look of the specs on these phones. So the Xperia Ray is equipped with an 8 megapixel XMR-R Sony sensor, and it can record 720p HD video in 30 FPS. We're working 1 gigabytes of internal storage, and something I was kind of surprised to see was the face detection when shooting. I did not expect a camera from 2011 to have that, to be honest. And our 2024 contester is sitting on 3 different cameras on the back, where one of them has a 48 megapixel sensor. All 3 lenses can record 4K video in up to 120 FPS. We also got eye tracking and stabilization. We got high dynamic range, macro shooting, and we got a lot of stuff. So instead of rambling specs all day, let's go shoot something with the phones. So, looking through the videos, there's no doubt that it has happened a lot of things in 13 years when it comes to video on smartphones. I honestly kind of like the nostalgic look that it gives, and it's not too sharp. So when it comes to recording video on this thing, you don't have much control as you have now on smartphones, but you can control the exposure, and which I've said in previous videos is a very important thing. And you also have some like different scenes for, so I guess like behind the scenes it's changing the camera settings. So if you shoot like at night, it will most likely use a slower shutter speed, but you don't see any of the settings. You can't change any of the settings. And that is a big difference from smartphones nowadays, when you have like control over everything, just as you do on professional cameras, or at least almost everything. And you can zoom by pressing on the volume buttons here. And again, it looks like it really gives off this nostalgic vibe, as I said. It kind of reminds me of my like childhood videos when like you're zooming in on a camcorder, and there's just something about it that I like. Is it sharp? In today's terms, no, not really. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Well, let's go take some photos with the phones. It's hot. I'm excited for fall and colder temperatures. There it is, I said it. And the phone died. The battery, after 13 years, is exhausted. So how far have we actually come when it comes to mobile photography 2024? So with features such as raw shooting, multi-lens systems like the portrait modes and advanced AI and computational photography techniques, today's smartphones can capture mind-blowingly good images. And I think the most impressive things about our modern smartphones is the low light performance and how far they can zoom and still maintain quality. And I think this is where we see the biggest difference from 2011 until today. So I tried to capture some northern lights the other night, and just look at the difference here. So I'm not throwing shade at the Xperia Ray. I'm sure it was fantastic at its time, but just look what a smartphone can capture nowadays, and it's honestly pretty insane. And when it comes to zooms, today's phones have dedicated lenses for this task, and they get better and better for every year. Who knows where we'll be in the future. And thanks to AI, we will probably see even more upgrades every year. But here it starts getting a little weird. If you zoom in that far and AI is kind of replacing the subject with something similar, is it still a photo? I'm all for technology. I love when things get better and better, but I really think it's interesting to see what this will bring in the future. So I feel like the gap between dedicated cameras and smartphones are shrinking for every year. Personally, I'll probably use my dedicated cameras for many years to come, because I don't think we will have 600mm like equivalent focal lengths in smartphones that will handle wildlife photography the way our gear today does. I just can't imagine it happening. But honestly, with how fast technology advancing, I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow prove me wrong. I guess time will tell. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.